Hello everybody and welcome back again. My name is Steven and welcome back to the final PBE rundown for 5.22. So this is the final patch notes that I'm going to be covering, which is basically just the extra little nitty gritty bits. So first of all is the empowered basic attacks. So what they have done with this is that they actually have a chance to basically fail now. So before in the past, if you say you flashed a Blitzcrank as he's just about to use his E onto you, if the animation is already gone off, or it's already started or anything, it will always knock you up. But now, they actually have the chance, if you flash away from them or blind them or any other type of effect, it actually has the effect that it could miss. So the abilities, or just any things that actually work with this, is Blitzcrank's E, Darius's W, Echo's passive, Garen's Q, Jace's R, Jax's W, Kassadin's W, Leona's Q, Master Yi's passive, Nasus's Q, Nautilus's passive, Rengar's Q, Renekton's W, Riven's passive, Sujani's W, Shyvana's Q, Skarner's E, Sona's passive, Talon's Q, Trumble's Q, Twisted Fate's W, Udar's E, Vayne's Q, Victor's Q, Wukong's Q, Jinzhao's Q, and Zig's passive. All these abilities in the past will always hit you as soon as they use the ability. Doesn't matter what the fuck you do, it will always hit 100%. There's no chance it will miss. But now these actually do. So before in the past, let's say you was playing Vayne versus Teemo. If the Teemo blinds Vayne, Vayne's autos are going to miss. It's the point of blind. However, if she used the Q, she was able to hit the Teemo, which didn't make sense of how autos could, but a Q-powered auto could actually hit them, whereas just normal autos couldn't, and it didn't make sense. But now that's all been fixed, which is actually a bit annoying in my opinion, but the whole flashing away from like Blitzcrank's E now no longer works. Is actually a good thing in that sense. So some of them are good, but some of them just are really stupid, like the Vayne's Q. So next into the lines of adjustments, we have had the a few changes to some other things, which are not really too big, to be fair. So first of all, the new thing that's been added to League of Legends is the Rift Herald. This is a new type of monster that now spawns into the game just before the Baron spawns. So at the 4-minute mark, it will then spawn every 5 minutes, as long as if somebody kills it every 5 minutes. So it will always be there at 4 minutes, and it will last all the way up to 1945 if it is out of combat. If you are fighting it, then it will disappear at 9:55. But basically gives you another 10 minutes to... Not 10 minutes, 10 seconds to kill the Rift Herald. Unless, if you don't kill it, it will then just disappear, it will just die off, and then the Baron will spawn at the normal 20 minutes. So, what's the whole importance around the Rift Herald? Well, first of all, let's talk about some of the buffs and some of the ways you can kill it. So, the way you kill it is, it has an eye on its head. And every now and then, this eye will open up. And the idea is you have to attack this eye and to do its maximum damage to it, which is actually 15% of its maximum health as true damage. Now, this eye can only be hit if you're behind it. If you're in front of it, it'll just do normal damage, but if you're behind it, it'll do the maximum 50% of its maximum health as true damage, which is actually really strong. Also, if backstabbing a Rift Herald brings it to 15% health or lower, the eye will always stay open. Meaning that as soon as you get to a certain health point, the eye will always be open for the person who's behind the Rift Herald to take it because it will always kill it straight out because of the 15% health damage of its maximum health, so it will always kill it. Now, the idea with the Rift Herald is that it takes less damage. You know, it's tanky, it's a very tanky thing, and it normally takes 2 people to take it down. Now, it has a special passive to it, which allows it to take 35% less damage from ranged auto attacks. So this is in a way to stop champions like the AD carries from switching in the top lane and taking it, because the idea is that they want to get this thing to be more important for the top laners rather than trying to get the AD carries in the top lane to get them to take it, then to switch down to get Dragon. Now, me and my team, we do actually do that. We get the AD carry to get into it. Just because it's more of a pushing power and it allows the AD carry to push a bit better. But if you was working on a different side of the spectra, you could have the AD carry and the support take Dragon, while you've got the top lane and the jungler taking Rift Herald. And the idea is that the enemy team then has to decide, do they want to contest Rift Herald, or do they want to contest Baron? Not Baron, do they want to contest Dragon? And it is actually a very tactical thing of where you want to go. So, let's keep on talking about what it is. So the next thing is that slaying the Rift Herald grants 50 gold to the entire team and Doom's Eye to whoever kills it. So Doom's Eye is basically a weaker version of the Baron buff, because what it gives is 10% increased damage, 40% movement speed, and enhanced recalls. Also, just like Baron buff, it will buff up the minions. It will give the minions 40% attack speed, and extra 100 attack range on the cannon minions. Now, this does not give any of the minions any more armor or magic resist like it does on the Baron buff, because the whole reason that it wants to be strong, but not as strong as the Baron buff. So it only gives it to one player, and that one player, yes, is stronger, but it's not nearly as strong as what the Baron buff gives. To keep it a bit more aligned to the whole that this is an early game thing, they didn't want to make it Baron buff early game, because it would be really hard and unfair to deal with. So the reason why they added this in is to the idea to get champions away from the whole teleporting thing in the top lane, because having teleport and teleporting away means that their top laner has now just got a free access to this Rift Herald, which is not a good thing. So the idea is to get top laners to start taking things like Knight or other things to keep them into the top lane, to make sure they keep on trying to fight for this Rift Herald, while the AD carry and the support stays in the bot lane to fight over the dragon. That's the entire point of it. So, if you guys have been playing the preseason lately, there has been two major things that's changed over the time. First of all, game starting. The game now starts 15 seconds earlier, so minions spawn 15 seconds at 1 minute 15, and the jungle camps spawn at 1 minute 40, rather than the old 1 minute 30 and 1 minute 55, like it used to. The idea of this is to start games a lot earlier, so if you're on a laggier computer and it takes a bit of time to load in, you're going to have less time to get set up than what you previous could, and the game pacing has changed as well. So this is actually in the game, but there's also another part that's coming in later. So the idea of the game pacing is that the games need to end a lot earlier. That's what they've been going on, and the games that, for me at least, have been ended between 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Very rarely it's been going over 30 minutes. But the reason for that is because the entirety of the change of snowballing. If you get an advantage, it is so fucking hard for the enemy team to come back. And as a player that plays a lot of AD carry, and that I'm not actually winning my lane anymore, because of the fact that a lot of players are playing so much more passive, because if somebody gets at least a kill or two, they can snowball that so fucking hard, and it is ridiculously hard to come back. And I've been playing a few games now, and I've lost a lot of games because things like an assassin gets 2 kills, and suddenly even the tank can't become tanky enough to stop the one-shotting from happening because of the whole snowballing factor. Snowballing is so hard in this current patch, and I really want Riot to start toning this down, because it is fucking ridiculous. And because of the thing they're coming in the next patch, where they are buffing minions and allow minions to push lanes a lot better and quicker, allowing them to snowball even harder. So overall at the moment, it's snowballing like fuck, and in the next patch, if they don't tone this snowballing down, it's going to be even harder with the whole minions buffs, and basically games are going to end even quicker, which is a little bit fucking ridiculous when you think about it. Games are really short as it is. We do not want games to end even shorter, and just the fact that you have no chance of coming back in a lot of these games. And I've had about, I don't know, say about 20 games in the last week or so on this patch. I must have won about 5 because of the whole fact if an assassin gets fed, I'm unable to do anything because I'm an AD carry. I play AD carry all the time. If an assassin gets ahead, I'm fucked. And I know that's always been the case in the past, but if you was able to defend them off for a certain amount of time, you could end up building up your overall stats, getting your QSS in, and then the assassin becomes then a lot weaker. At the moment, none of that is able to come in because of the entire thing. Snowballing comes out so fucking hard, it's near impossible to come back in games now. Now, I'm not too sure if I talked about this in the previous video, I might have not have, but gold has actually been changed very drastically. So, you actually gain more gold as this game goes on, and the whole kill gold has actually changed. So, they've added in a new bounty system. So, bounties are now actually showing off next to your champion's health and stuff by showing a little amount of gold little timer. So, these bounties, every 2 kills will go up, and each bounty will allow you to go up and get more gold. So this is actually really ridiculous because when you do the maths, it could mean that if you get someone on 5 kills and then someone on the enemy team kills that person nearly 5 times, the amount of gold that you can get from that one player is fucking ridiculous. And this is where the snowballing comes in even harder. The entire season at the moment is so fucking snowbally. It is ridiculous. So you can see here, the bounty gold rewards. Tier 1, you get 20 gold. Everybody on the team gets it. Tier 2, 30. Tier 3, 60. Tier 4, 70. And then Tier 5, which the maximum is 90. Now, this is global. This is not talking about each individual player. Each individual player will be getting even more gold. And in the end, this gold becomes fucking ridiculous when you start thinking about if somebody gets quite a few kills and then you repeatedly kill them, you're going to get a crap ton of gold and your team's going to get ridiculous amounts of gold as well. They could be getting nearly, let's say, about 400 gold just from you just killing this guy over and over. Killing like their fed guy over and over. Now, getting assists don't actually help to gold anymore. Well, they still do, but getting assist streaks don't. So if you're getting 5 assists in a row, you'll no longer get as much gold as what you used to. Next up is turrets. Turrets have received a huge change this season. And basically, they now deal... So they've changed them quite a bit. So turrets attacks against... So basic attacks against turrets deal damage equal to the base attack damage plus either 1 bonus attack damage or up to 5 now, 0.5 ability power. It used to be 0.4, but it is now 0.5. And it will actually take the one that you're highest in because of the either fact that's been added. So before, it would only take your attack damage. Now, it'll be taking your AP power. Mainly. So if you're mainly a AP champion, for example, Orianna, Diana, Xerath, it will now be taking your AP power and using that on the turret rather than your AD, which was a bit useless because a mage is not going to be building AD, so what's the point taking their AD power when they're not going to have it? Also, the turret's resistance is now gone. There is no armor or magic resist at the start of the game for turrets, however, as the game progresses, they gain more and more magic resist and armor up to the maximum 30. It's still a lot lower than what it previously was, but it still allows turrets to go down a lot quicker. Now, if there is no minions nearby, the amount of armor the magic resist turret will have is 200. As soon as a minion comes up to it, it will then drop straight down to 0, or the maximum 30, which I talked about a few seconds ago. Now, the health of the turrets have also changed. Outer turrets are now 3,500, inner turrets are 3,500 as well, and the inhibitor and the nexus turrets are both 4,000 each. Now, because of the fact that they have no magic resistance armor, it still means that these turrets will be going down very fucking quickly. Also, the amount of gold that the turrets actually give now from the outer now gives 220 gold rather than the 150, and the inner turrets now give 250 rather than the 100 gold it used to. Now, I would cover the whole minions change, but the minions change has actually been pushed back to a later patch, which will be coming in a few days now, in the 5.23 patch. So I'm not going to talk about that. Jungle tuning has had a bit of a change. I'm not going to talk about the old Pacific changes in this. I recommend you guys go in and check out the game patch notes on the website of LeagueOfLegends.com in your specific region. So for me, it's eus.leagueoflegends.com. Make sure you put in your region. So if you're in NA, put na.leagueoflegends.com or whatever you are playing at. I will leave a link in the description if I remember for the EU version. So you can read up all about this. Teleport has a bit of a change as well. Teleport's cooldown is now no longer gives you a lower cooldown if you teleport to a tower. So before, if you teleport to a minion or a ward, it'll be on 300 seconds. However, if you teleport to a tower, it'll be 240 seconds. That is now gone. So you can teleport to anything, and every single thing you teleport will give you the same cooldown, which is actually very nice, and it will actually mean that the top laners will no longer need to teleport to the towers as their main source of getting back to lane. It can now allow them to teleport fucking wherever they want. Next up is the channel time. The channel time has gone up by 0.5 seconds. It's not much, but it allows people to actually catch them a little bit easier. Other than that, the removed champion spells, well, some of the spells, has been removed are Clairvoyance and Clarity. So if you guys should know, Clairvoyance was the one where it will show an area, and Clarity was the one that gave you mana. So these two are now gone, and yeah, rip. So other than that, we have one more thing to talk about in this current patch. So you guys may have noticed, I've not yet talked about this skin. That's right, the final skin of this season is the Victorious Sivir skin. So if you guys are in gold or higher, you will get your hands on this Victorious Sivir skin. Now, whereas I was a fucking scrub and I didn't actually get into gold, I missed out on this skin, which I'm very sad about after being a carry main and actually having Sivir as one of my mains last season. And to know the fact that I won't be getting it is a bit it sucks a bit. But I actually don't like this skin all that much. I actually don't think it looks all that good. I love the effects. The effects look beautiful. But the overall base skin itself, I'm not a fan of. I don't like the whole armory type of feeling that they've been giving to Sivir. I prefer the whole things like the Snowstorm. That's my favourite skins for Sivir. But the whole giving her armor like the Warden one, I actually didn't like all that much. But overall, it's still a very decent skin. And if I would actually pay for it, it'll be a 975 skin because it doesn't give you anything else. And the overall particles are just slight little tweaks in the whole idea of how everything looks. It could actually be a 1350, but because it doesn't have any major changes, I actually don't think it would be. So it's a 975 based skin. But overall, it's a very nice ward if you did get into silver or higher. And I hope you guys enjoy. And while I'll be sad over in a corner because I don't have it. So, other than that, they've had a few other changes like the in-game server settings, the Mac load timers have been improved, and some bug fixes. But other than that, that is actually everything that has been included in this patch. Overall, this patch has been decent in some areas, crap in some other areas. So, overall, it's been a very ish patch for me. I've loved the old lady carry changes. I love the itemizations changes. It's all good and dandy, but the whole snowballing factor has just ruined it for me at the moment, and I'm hoping they're turning that all down. But other than that, hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hope you've all enjoyed all of the Upnotes videos, and please tell me guys what you guys think of the old change to the old layout. I'm still working on a few things. There's a few things I want to change and stuff. But expect them to start coming in over the next few weeks, and they should be all in place for the new season to start in January. So other than that, guys, hope you guys enjoyed, and check back in a few weeks time. Well, not in a few weeks, in a few days time, more noticeable next Wednesday, where I will be having the next PBE Rundown covering the pre-season 5.23 patch. So until then, everyone, hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!